Hello there, this is Welsh ASMR 82. Hey, how you doing? So, a video I've been meaning to do all summer, and only just got around to doing, is I'm going to go through all of the leagues that we follow on this channel when we do the results. And I'm going to predict the top 5. That'll be quite fun, won't it? And I'm probably going to be horrifically wrong on so many of them, but maybe we can revisit this video at the end of the season and laugh about how badly I predicted things. That'll be quite fun. And there'll be a results video coming next week, I guess, with all of the results from this for the Premier League opening weekend. A couple of other leagues haven't started yet, but it doesn't matter. Okay, so I did a bespoke video for the Premier League, and I think off the top of my head I said something like, oh god, it's taking ages, this thing is dying, it's so old, I need to get a new one. I'm gonna pause. So off the top of my head I said Man City to win it, then I said Man United second, I said Arsenal third, and I said either Liverpool or Chelsea 4th and 5th. So if I have to commit, I'm going to say Liverpool 4th and Chelsea 5th. But I wouldn't be shocked if it were the other way around. So I talk about that in more detail in that video. So check that one out if you haven't seen it already. Okay, so that's the Premier League. Let's pop over to Serie A. Now I did the same video for the Premier League, talking about all of the different teams, looking at all the transfers and predicting the league and who would go down for my Italian channel in Italian. So I'll summarise what I said. I said Milan will win it, and I said that Inter will come second, and I think I said Juve will come third. Oh no, I think I said Napoli will come third and Juve 4th. And then 5th place possibly is going to be someone like, it's either going to be Lazio, Roma or Atalanta. So I do think Milan have bought very well this summer, and they already had a strong team, so I think that they are going to probably win it this year. But I think they're City rivals Inter are going to chase them all the way. I think Juve are going to have a good year. I think Lazio have weakened their team, as have Roma this summer. So I think that I don't think Napoli, with the change in manager, are going to do as well as last year. So that's why I think that. If you disagree with me, or if you agree with me, drop me a comment and let me know. So, who's next? La Liga. Vamos España. So Spain is kind of easier to predict because usually there's only one of 2 or 3 teams that can win this particular championship. And of course I'm talking about Barcelona, Real Madrid, and to an extent Atletico Madrid as well. So I think it hinges on the last couple of days of the transfer window, because Barcelona, as they have over the last couple of years, despite being totally broke, have managed to buy like 1 million players. Whereas Real Madrid have let quite a lot of surplus players go. And they've also lost Courtois, who's injured. He's not going to be back until like spring of next year. But then obviously there's the rumour that Mbappe might go there. So if they can get a goalkeeper on loan for the season and get Mbappe, I think they could win it, but otherwise I'm going to say Barcelona, with Atletico Madrid coming 3rd. And 4th spot, it's always hard to predict the 4th spot in Spain. Real Sociedad are a really good team, they came 4th last time. There's quite a chase on each year for that 4th spot, but I think it could be Sevilla. And maybe Betis in 5th. I would love to see Valencia have a good season, but who knows what's going to happen with Valencia. They nearly got relegated last year. And my club is Athletic Bilbao, so I obviously hope that they do well. I would love them to get fourth, or just into Europe in general. Okay then, next up is Ligue 1. So, as much as most people will just say Paris Saint-Germain to get first place, I actually don't think it'll happen this year because, let's say, because they're doing a rebuild, right, and they're moving away from the Galacticos period. If they lose Mbappe and Neymar this year, who is going to score their goals? Because I can remember Mbappe coming off the bench and saving them like half a dozen times last year, and they only won the league by about 2 points or something. So I think if someone has a good season, such as, you know, a Lille, a Marseille, a Nice, maybe Lens again, even Monaco, Rennes, then I think that they could lose their grip on this championship. But I don't know who that's going to be, so I'm going to play safe and say Paris Saint-Germain on, you know, before a ball is being kicked. Well, actually there's some balls being kicked right now, but I'm going to say Paris Saint-Germain play safe, but I would not be shocked at all if they did not win the title this year, whilst they rebuild. But there are so many teams that are sort of equal status in this league, I have no idea who's going to come top 5. So I'm just going to give a completely off the bat assumption of who's going to come top 5. Marseille are going to be up there. Lille are going to be up there. I think Nice should have a better season this year. And Lens and Monaco and Rennes. So, you know, it's going to be one of those teams. So if I say Paris Saint-Germain first, Marseille second, Lille third, Nice fourth, and Lens fifth, because they could possibly have Champions League football to distract them. So maybe that means that Monaco will come fifth. Yeah, I'll do that. Lens maybe qualify for the Europa League or something. But it's a very difficult league to predict because there are so many good teams, equal status teams. Very competitive league apart from Paris Saint-Germain at the top. Okay, Bundesliga time. So of course we know the big transfer news is Harry Kane has gone to the champions, Bayern Munich. So he is a proven goal scorer, you know, there's no question over his ability. I don't really think for a second he'll have a bad season. So I do think that Bayern Munich will probably win again, which is rubbish, you know, and very boring, but 12th year in a row. Borussia Dortmund will come second, and I think we're probably looking at Bayer Leverkusen having a much better season this year. But who could have predicted that Freiburg and Union Berlin would have such amazing seasons last year? I think Leipzig will probably get in the top 5, as will Frankfurt. Possibly one of, you know, Gladbach. One of the W's. So I think I'm going to say Bayern first, Dortmund second, Leipzig third. Then I'm going to say Leverkusen fourth and Frankfurt fifth. What do you think about that? Drop me a comment. Okay, let's have a look then at the Eredivisie, the top division in the Netherlands. Now last year we had a new winner for a couple of years. We haven't had Feyenoord win. PSV have had a good transfer period this summer. Ajax not so much. So I'm thinking PSV will win this year. And I think Feyenoord will come second, and Ajax will actually come third again. Alkmaar will come fourth, and fifth I have no idea. Maybe Utrecht, although they are currently losing. To be fair, they're losing to PSV. Yeah, I think maybe Utrecht, something like that. That's what I think. I think PSV are going to win the league this year. Feyenoord will still have a good season. I think they'll come second, but they're in the Champions League as well, which makes things tricky. Okay, let's go to Portugal next. Now, Portugal is fairly predictable in the top three. Obviously, we did have a change of that last year because Sporting finished fourth. I don't think that'll happen again, particularly because, who was it that finished above them again? Braga, I think it was. I think that they will be distracted by European football. So I still think Benfica are the best team in the country, so I think they'll come first again. Porto second, and Sporting third, and then probably something like Braga fourth, and probably someone like Boavista fifth. Does that sound sensible? Okay, who's next? Okay, so let's go to Allsvenskan. Now that Allsvenskan is a different league in the sense that it goes spring to autumn. So there are already plenty of games in, as far as I understand. 18 games in. So at the minute, you've got Elfsborg, Malmö, and Häcken in the top three, Djurgården and Norrköping in fifth. I think it'll be a push to think that Elfsborg can win. I think it's more likely that Malmö will catch them. Particularly as Häcken were going to have still in European qualifying competitions, trying to work out where they're going to come. I think they've dropped out of the Champions League. They're in the Europa League qualification spots now. So that's going to distract them a little from the league. So let's just say this top five as it is, but switching the top two around, I think Malmö probably got more in depth than Elfsborg. But good luck to Elfsborg. It's nice to see someone different at the top of the table. Okay, that's Sweden. Let's go to Belgium. Belgium had the most amazing finish to the season. I watched the video online. Thanks for recommending it to me, guys, in the comment section. Where the title changed hands 3 times in the final match day, and the eventual winners were Antwerp. I think they've bought really well this summer, so I think that they are going to be title contenders. Saint-Gilloise have sold so many players, but they're still performing well at the top of the league. I think, though, with European football on the horizon, I don't think they're going to have that strength and depth that they had last year. I always think that Genk are going to be right up there. Bruges as well. And although they've started poorly, Anderlecht, they've bought really well. Yeah, they bought Kasper Dolberg. So I think that they'll come together. So I'm going to predict Antwerp first, maybe Union Saint-Gilloise second, and then Gent third, Genk fourth, oh no, Club Brugge fourth, and then Genk fifth, I think. I can't see these sides staying up there at that position for long. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Okay, where next? That's Belgium done. Let's look at Denmark, Superligaen. So the Danish league started a couple of weeks back, so Copenhagen have stormed out of the blocks. They are the current champions, and I think that they are the best set up to win again. And I feel that North-Zealand are probably going to come second. I'd like Aarhus to come third. I think Midtjylland will have something to say about that. A couple of the bigger sides have started slowly, Viborg and Brøndby. I think they'll catch up. So I'm going to say Copenhagen, København, North-Zealand, Aarhus, Midtjylland, and maybe Viborg. And that's what I'm thinking at the second. Copenhagen for the championship. Okay, next. What are we looking at next? Turkey. So, a lot of my subscribers, both on this channel and on my Turkish ASMR channel, are really shouting up Galatasaray's European aspirations this year. They have bought really well, really well. They got a cracking side. So I do anticipate that they will be right at the top again this season. So I'm thinking that it's going to be Galatasaray first, then Fenerbahce second, because I think that they've bought well. Besiktas in third, and then as for fourth and fifth, I'm not entirely sure, so I'm going to have a little guess and say maybe something like a Trabzonspor fourth and Sivasspor fifth, but we'll see. Başakşehir will probably have something to say about that. So yeah, Galatasaray for champions. Right then. Russian Premier League started a couple of weeks ago as well. My favourite team, Spartak, did a classic Spartak and lost a game that they were winning, conceding 2 in injury time last night. That was great work. Okay, so Zenit have started slowly, and they sold their best player Malcolm to a Saudi Arabian team, Al Hilal. I don't know if they're going to win the league this year. I did this video in Russian on my Russian channel, and I said I'm going to play safe and say that they're going to win, but it's not going to be the usual race to the finish line like we usually have. And I remember saying that I think Spartak will come second, Krasnodar will come third. I said Rostov will come fourth, starting to regret that. And I think I said CSKA will come fifth. Yeah, I think that's what I said. But the league is there this time for Spartak, if they get their act together. They got Zenit next, and that we always lose massively in that game. Okay, next is the Ekstraklasa in Poland. I can't believe how well Rachov Czestochowa did last year, and they're doing quite well in the European playoff spots as well for getting into Europe this year. I think they could win it again. How they started? Oh, badly. I think Lech will be there or thereabouts. Cracovia have started really strongly. And then your classics of Legia Warszawa are right up there as well. I don't know a great deal about this league, but I'm just going to say it off the top of my head. Rachov Czestochowa to win the league. Lech second, Cracovia third, Zagłębie Bielubin fourth, and Legia Warszawa fifth. What do you think? Drop a comment, tell me if I'm crazy. Okay, next up. I can't think which league this is. Oh, the Czech League. Okay, so I watched Sparta Prague play the other day in Europe. I think, they're already very far ahead. Sparta Prague to win it again. Slavia in second. I'm surprised Slovan are doing quite poorly, and Pilsen. I think Pilsen will pick up. They'll come third, and then maybe we'll have Slovan Liberec in fourth and Mlada Boleslav in fifth. What do you think? I think Sparta Prague will win the league again. Okay, let's go to Switzerland. Now, Zurich. Sorry, not Zurich. What was it? Bâle. Bâle have started poorly and they're out of Europe already as well. Which is shocking when you think that they got to the semi-final, I think it was, of the Conference League last year. So I would normally say Bâle to win it, but I'm not going to this year. I'm going to say Young Boys to win it. Zurich coming second, Lugano third, St. Gallen fourth, Servette fifth, because I don't know enough about the teams. I'm just going to use how they are at the moment. I think Young Boys will win it though. I don't think Zurich will. But I don't see Bâle in the top 5 unless they sort themselves out. Okay, that's Switzerland done. Let's go to Scotland then, shall we? So the Scotland Premiership, Scottish Premiership. I think Celtic are well placed to win the league again, with Rangers coming second. That obviously is going to be one of those two that wins it. St Mirren have started well, but I don't see them staying up there. I think Hearts could. I saw a goal that they scored. Was in Europe the other day, and it was sensational. So Hearts coming third, and then I don't know, it's tricky. I would normally say something like Aberdeen. Oh, and Hibs are back. But they've only played one game so far. Yeah, okay, I'm going to stick my neck out and say Aberdeen 4th, Hibs 5th. So see me. Okay. Let me know in a comment if I'm crazy. Right, who's next? Right, Northern Ireland. Oh, is it Ireland? That's Ireland. I don't really know, if I'm honest. So let's have a look at who's winning. I know. Oh, we're 27 games in. I think Shamrock Rovers are going to win. Okay, so we got Shamrock Rovers first, St Patrick's second, Bohemian third, Derry and Dundalk. Let's say for argument's sake that they stay that way. I need to brush up on my Irish League knowledge. And if you think it's bad for Ireland, it's even worse for Northern Ireland, which is next. So apologies in advance about that. I don't even know if they've started playing yet. To give me a clue. Oh yeah, 2 games in. So at the minute it's Coleraine, Larne, Cliftonville, Loughgall and Linfield. I think Glentoran will probably get higher than that. And Ballymena United maybe. I think Linfield will come higher. I don't think Loughgall will be there for long. But, I don't think Coleraine will win it. I could see Larne winning it, but that's just me trying to sound like I know what I'm talking about. Sorry. Why don't you give me a comment and let me know who you think's going to win it? Okay, I have started following the Welsh Premier League though, and I watched all of the European matches that we had. We're out of Europe already, unfortunately, but we did actually really impress. To be honest, they shouldn't. It was Haverford-West I really enjoyed watching, and they went out on a penalty in injury time, and it just wasn't a penalty. There was no VAR, and the referee said it was a handball, but the guy's hand was like covering his chest. So how, like, where are you supposed to put your hands? They went out wide, so unless the rules have changed, it did hit his hand, but his hand was covering his stomach. That's not handball, it can hit you in your stomach. so they shouldn't be out. Anyway, sour grapes. So TNS will definitely come first. They started off with a 6-2 win last night. And I watched them in Europe, and actually they're a pretty decent team. Penabont will be pretty high this season. I think maybe even Pontypridd. And I think Haverfordwest will come second. I've really enjoyed watching them play, to be honest. They had a very unfortunate draw with Pontypridd will think that they should have won it as well. So yeah, TNS first, Haverfordwest second, Penabont third. I don't know about Bala, Pontypridd, and then maybe Koneski have started badly, but I think they'll be up there in fifth. Strong statement from me. There we go. TNS to win it. Maybe we'll get into the Conference League next year. Okay, Championship. Oh god, this is such a tough league. We've got loads of Welsh players playing in the Championship this year, and I'm so chuffed because it is the competitive nature and the quality of the league is better than if they were playing in some other Premier League abroad. Such a difficult league. Okay, so bizarrely, New Boys Ipswich are top, Leicester second, Watford, Plymouth, New Boys as well, Norwich and Southampton. And Swansea lost today, as did Cardiff, so they're down there. I think this league is one of those leagues that one team usually just has this amazing year and runs away with it. Every year it seems to happen. I think there's probably going to be Leicester City this year. I think Leeds will go up as well. And then in the playoffs, Southampton. I'm hoping for Swansea, but you never know. And then maybe Sunderland. How many teams is that? That's 5, isn't it? West Brom always tend to do well in this league as well. And maybe Coventry as well. Yeah, and Blackburn. That should be the top 6, I think. Maybe I said 7, I can't remember. I'm hoping Swansea are in there anyway, but it's difficult. Very, very difficult. Okay, and then we'll have a quick look at League One. I don't really know much about League One, but I can tell you if there are some strong teams that I think will bounce back from relegation last year anyway. Some really big teams have gone into this league as well. So, it loads up. Bolton are currently top, Cambridge a second, wow really. Stevenage a third, crikey. Peterborough, Barnsley, Portsmouth. Derby's in here, Blackpool, Charlton. Reading's in this league. Wow. Okay, so I think that maybe Bolton will go up this year. They should have gone up last year with Portsmouth, and maybe winning the playoffs with someone like Charlton. We'll see. I say with absolutely no knowledge whatsoever. Okay, shall we pop to Saudi Arabia? Just pop over. I watched the opening match last night between Al Ahly and Al Hazm, and it was a really good match actually. In the end, Al Ahly won 3-1. Roberto Firmino scored a hat-trick, but there were plenty of points that Al Hazm could and should have got back into the game. I do think that Mondi, the goalkeeper from Chelsea, should have been sent off and a penalty given at one point, but they judged the dive to be a little bit dramatic. Sorry, my stupid tablet just like died. Okay, I've just turned it back on. So I think that the top will be very contested. I can see Karim Benzema's Ittihad doing quite well, the current champions. I think my favourite is Cristiano Ronaldo and Sadio Mane's Al-Nassr. Al-Hilal are never far away. They're particularly going for a couple of big strikers to finalise their team at the moment. And Al-Ahly, although they've only just been promoted, classically are a top 4 team, so I think Al-Shabaab usually is the best of the rest, but Al-Ittifaq might push them this year with Steven Gerrard and Jordan Henderson. So I'm going to stick my neck out and say Al-Nassr to win, Al-Ittihad second, Al-Hilal third, Al-Ahly fourth, and Al-Shabaab will come in fifth. It's interesting. They reckon there's only 2 spots for the Champions League this year. One will go to the Cup. So there's 3, but I thought there was 4 for Saudi Arabia. Okay, let's leave the Middle East and go across the pond to the States. The MLS has been going for some time already, so we should have quite a few clues over who's at the top of each division, the second. Okay, Eastern Conference, you've got Cincinnati at the top, quite far way away from New England Revolution. Phillies in third, Nashville fourth, Orlando in fifth. But Inter Miami looking sensational since Messi and the other Spaniards joined. But they're currently in a cup at the second, so they're a couple of games behind. And in the Western, St. Louis still doing well at the top. Los Angeles FC second, last year's winners. Real Salt Lake, Seattle Sounders, and Austin. So I can't predict St. Louis as the overall winner at this point. Maybe they deserve it, but I haven't watched them play. Equally, I haven't really seen Cincinnati either. Gosh, I don't know enough to predict a winner of the MLS. I'm going to have to do my research a bit better. But I am quite surprised at the 2 teams that are at the top of each conference. That's very interesting. I do kind of feel like Nashville deserve it after having a couple of good seasons in a row, though. But the Messi effect is possibly going to take place. They're 22 points behind. Can they catch up and get into the playoffs? That's the question. Okay. So Mexico is next. Mexico. Again, they play their league the same. Oh no, they've only just started. Interesting. So in Mexico, the top teams are usually Monterrey, Guadalajara, Tigres, America, Toluca, and Puebla. And Puebla have started poorly on Cruz Azul. I don't know who strengthened this year. My favourite team is Tigres, but they never finish top, but they always can win if they get in the playoffs, so there's always a chance. I do think the strongest team overall was Monterrey. I think they'll probably win it overall. Okay, that's Mexico. And then I think it's little old Canada. So Pacific, Cavalry, Forge, Atletico Ottawa and York are in the playoffs at the minute. It's very close between them all, so it's difficult to predict. But at the minute, obviously Pacific in pole position. Maybe they'll be the winners. Okay, we'll do Brazil, and I'll add Argentina, and then we'll finish today's video, which is a monster video. Look, I'm doing 35 at the second. You lucky things. Last time I checked, Botafogo were just like running away with the league, which is quite a surprise to me. 13 points ahead, 18 games in, ahead of the usual best team in the league, which is Flamengo. Fluminense are third, which also surprised me because Palmeiras are one of the strongest sides in the league. And one of my little favourites, Atletico, Minas Gerais, are all the way down in 10th at the minute. But there's still a long way to go. Shockingly, both Santos and Vasco da Gama, big clubs, are down in the relegation zones. So I think Botafogo will win it. I don't think, they're going to do so poorly that they're going to get caught. So I think it's their year. Well done to them. Still a long way to go though. Okay, shall we pop and have a little look at Argentina then? Let me bring that up for you. So they're 27 games in, so they're quite a long way in. And River Plate are running away with it, 11 points ahead of Talleres. San Lorenzo in third, Lanús in fourth, Estudiantes in fifth, Boca all the way down in seventh, as well as Argentinos Juniors down in 10th, Racing down in 12th, Newell's Old Boys 14th. Such a big division, 28 teams. I guess there's quite a long way to go then. Vélez Sarsfield down in 25th, Independiente 24th. Wow, some of the big teams are having difficult seasons this year. Okay, so if I'm going to guess, then I'm going to take a safe bet and say River to win this season. Only 4 games lost so far. Okay, I really hope you liked this monster prediction video for this season. And if I didn't include your league, tell me which league it is and I'll try and include it in the results as we go through this season. If you enjoyed it, of course, click like, click subscribe if you're new to the channel, leave me a comment on my predictions, tell me if I'm crazy or not, and yeah, if you love what I do on this channel, then consider joining me on Patreon as well. Okay, take care everyone, hope this has totally relaxed you and you're fast asleep, but otherwise take care and see you soon. Bye 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 bye.